मैं सोचा था कि एक चाट कॉर्नर खोला जाए।
रिटायर्ड लाइफ ऐसी ही होती है, स्लो और लंबी, लग जाएगी आदत।
कितना वॉक करूं, कितना टीवी देखूं? 6 हफ्ते हो गए, अभी तक कुसुम की चोरी पकड़ी नहीं गई है।
चाचा जी, वो जुम्बा क्लास का क्या हुआ?
कितनी बार बोला है कोई ढंग का ड्राइविंग कोर्स कर लो, योगा स्टार्ट कर लो।
द ग्रेट डेन, इतना बीबा बीगल, प्रेस्टीज वाला काम है डॉग वॉकिंग। ऐसा वैसा मत समझियो। मेरी भतीजी, उसकी फ्रेंड के यहाँ पर सत्संग है, एक सॉलिड कुक चाहिए।
पता है, कुकिंग इज एन आर्ट।
शर्माजी नमकीन बाकी सारे।
उसे लगा कि सुंदरकांड का पार्ट।
अरे किटी पार्टी चल रही थी वहाँ, किटी। सरदार तू एक बार मेरे हाथ लग गया ना तो देख।
Guys, welcome to India today. I watched Sharmaji Namkeen, and I think very rarely do we have films where moments before the film and moments after the film stay with you. I'm talking about Ranbir's personal note, which I think sort of sets the tone for the film, and it's so personal, it's so poignant, and the end credits, which I think definitely raise a chuckle. And Hitesh, I remember we spoke about you and Rishi G's crazy chemistry on set. We get a glimpse of that and more.
And that's exactly how he is. When you see him in the end credits, that's how he is. You know, he is constantly bullying people. And I remember me and Hitesh were having this conversation also. If as a first-time director, if you get bullied very soon, then you had it. But if you have a say and you give it back to him, then he understands, अच्छा, this director knows his work. But that's his way he tests people. You know, he tests directors. अच्छा, अगर मैं ये उसको force करूँगा, does he have an original point of view, or is he just going to agree to what I say? And I think he very masterfully he
Navigate.
found his way.
Ranbir, I want to talk to you a bit about your opening. It's almost a personal letter. It doesn't seem like, you're sitting in front of a camera. It feels like you're directly talking to the audience. You say that, there was that option of doing prosthetics. There was that conversation that maybe we could shoot it in this way because it's a challenge. This hasn't happened before in terms of an actor playing two different characters, the same character, I mean. What was going through your mind at that point in time when that option was being discussed?
You know, I mean, it all begins with like knowing, going through that journey with my father, with his ailment, and what transpired at that time, and how passionate he was about this film, how guilty he was, even though that he was suffering in New York during his treatment. That yaar ye film complete ho jaye, because he always had empathy towards a producer. That somebody has put in their money, somebody has entrusted me with a film and character, and I hope that this film completes. And I have so much of respect for Ritesh that even after whatever happened, he still wanted to present to the world his last film. He didn't lose hope. Ritesh Sidhwani is a very big producer in the film industry, and he could have taken a hit of shelving this film and just letting go. But I'm very grateful that he completed my father's last work. I remember when I came back from a shooting schedule, we sat together, we discussed how will we take this forward. I sent him some pictures of mine. They sent it abroad to some CG, some special effect people, if they could, if I could just act as me and they could do some CG where I look like my father, do a little prosthetics, but nothing was really working out. And that's when, they had this great idea of casting Paresh Rawalji, who's such a fine actor. And I have so much of love and respect to give to him to step in to complete this film, to pay a tribute to an actor that's my father, and he's done it in such a beautiful way that I would have never been able to do it in the same way. So I think everything just turned out to be it just turned out well for this film. Speaking about that video, I'm getting a lot of love for it. I don't know why. I guess people are connecting with the fact that my father's last film and his son is talking about it. But that is the truth. That whatever we're speaking in that video was giving an audience a perspective that there are two characters playing this. It's never happened before, and so just kind of preparing them before they start watching this film. But having said that, let me tell you that once you start watching, you've seen this film,
Yes.
and when you see it, you forget in the first 5 minutes that they're two different characters, and that's really the power of great storytelling, of great acting, and again, a lot of marks goes to the director who's really pulled this off.
What stays with you after the film is that smile on your face just to watch Rishi ji again in his element,
Mhm.
because he doesn't feel like he's playing a character. His
Yeah.
love for food,
Yeah.
everybody knows that.
Yeah.
His sarcasm, his wit, his humor.
Yeah.
We all have seen that on social media and offline.
Yeah.
His way with the ladies,
Yeah.
those kitty party scenes and him flirting, all of that feels like this is true blue Rishi Kapoor.
It's a true shade of him, yeah.
There's a scene in the film where it's a very sweet scene where he asks his kid, "Have you eaten?" You know, when he comes back late in the night. These small moments where you get to see shades of him being the father, worrying about his children. Ranbir, I want to jog you back a little bit in time and take you to Savaria. How was he as a critic? I mean, obviously, what was his reaction when he saw you first on
He
screen?
was a very harsh critic of mine. Like, he never ever appreciated me on my face. I don't think he understood my choices. Like, he was always worried that he kar kya raha hai. I remember on the 7th or 8th day of the shoot of Savaria, he came on set. And you must be knowing the sets of Savaria. You know, there were such large, daunting sets, and Mr. Bansari was the director. And he took me to a corner. This is my 7th or 8th day of shoot, so I'm also like really nervous, and my father's taken me into a corner. And suddenly he asked me a few questions. He said, "Ke ye itna andhera kyun hai?" I said, "Papa, it's a story of nights." He said, "Acha, itna bada set hai, lekin log kahan hai?" I said, "No, Mr. Bansari is trying to do a different style. There's just two of us walking alone on the streets." He's saying, "Bridge itna low kyun aur aap aise jhuk ke kyun jate ho board se?" So he asked me all these questions, and I'm wondering, why is he asking me all these questions? And then after 5 minutes, he took my mother to a corner and said, "Mujhe nahi lagta ye picture chalne wali hai." He said, "You cannot alienate people of place and time." And so he had that instinct. But having said that, my father has never sat me down and given me tips on acting, or he's told me, you have to behave this way. He always told me that don't take success to your head and failure to your heart. You have to work very hard. So I've imbibed the qualities of chasing the process, of being good at your work, being disciplined, and all of that. But he was very harsh. I remember even when he saw Barfi for the first time, he called me, and I'm always nervous when my father calls me after a film, and he said, "हाँ, तू acting तो अच्छी कर लेता है, but don't do arty films next time." When he saw Rockstar, he called me and said, "वो end में वो लड़की मर गई थी कि वापस आ गई?" So he was a he was like the mass. That was his thing. Okay, what is this film trying to tell me? Of course, when Sanju released, he was very proud that the film did well. He was very proud of my work, and I think that sense of acknowledgement from him means the world to me. Because being such a harsh critic of mine, when he finally liked something, it means something to you. And I will never ever forget it. In my phone, the wallpaper on my phone is a picture of that he sent me when he was traveling back from Mauritius. He was having a drink on the flight, and he did a cheers to me and said that I'm very proud of you. And so moments like that, really matter.
He was always fond of the camera, always wanting to do something, never wanting to just not be doing anything. I know how much, offers did come to him, Ranbir, right? Left, right, and center, till this film and then beyond. Did he ever discuss the stuff that came his way with you?
Yeah, he was always, whenever he had a narration or, he heard something, the entire night we spent just talking about it, because of his excitement, because of what he feels this story has potential to do. I remember when the first time he heard Sharmaji Namkeen, like, he was always so grateful that even at this age and this stage in his career, he was getting a film where he was headlining the film. He understood that, he is probably in a phase in his life where he has to play more character-driven films, where, he is not the main lead of a film. But to get a main lead, that really used to excite him so much. And I used to see that gratefulness in him also, that, that I'm getting this opportunity and I'm going to recognize this and, do it to the best of my capability. But like a child, I feel like such a jaded person, when I used to see him, when he used to get excited to play a part, like, I'm not even like 10% of it, and that's why he has that body of work, that's why he's such a passionate man. He is who he is, he's not going to be different on this interview and different with Hitesh on set, he's exactly the way he is. He's a passionate actor. He's also a selfish actor. I remember Shakun once telling me during Kapoor and Sons, after the screening, he used to take Shakun in the corner and said, "Uska scene kyun dala? Wo kaat, wo boring hai. Mera wo scene wapas dal de." So, at that stage in his life, he was still doing that. That just shows, what it kind of reflects who he is as a person. Really inspiring.
Very rarely have we seen Rishi ji on a set in his element in action. I think it's the first time this has been captured on celluloid. Ranbir.
Yeah, also Ritesh was telling me a story on Zoya's film and he gave him a
Zoya-
call
no,
time.
So I think he's a bully, but he's to be somebody who was only coming with his heart. It was all love,
Right.
Okay, and I don't think even in this, or maybe in other movies, he's been the same, but you haven't seen the outtakes of those movies. But he has always been. I remember like Luck by Chance. I was thinking it was the first or second day of shoot, and obviously Zoya's first movie, and they were getting to it. And she knew Rishi uncle from as a kid, and I think the one of the ADs went and gave him a call sheet, and it was written that on set by 9 a.m. means makeup and all before, but on set at 9 a.m. do a blocking.
Right.
So he didn't talk to them. We had a different relationship. There I used to be, that was like your first, second movie. So you're on set. So he called me. He said, listen, तुम्हारे AD ने मुझे बोले, इनको जाके समझा दो अपने डायरेक्टर को कि मेरे घर पे जो दूध वाला है वो 9 बजे. So after he come, पहले मैं आपका चाय पीऊंगा, then I'll get ready and then I'll come. So 9 o'clock, don't give me. And he went and told Zoya, and it was just funny. But the next day he was on set at 9 a.m. So he is like that.
Hitesh, that whole Tom and Jerry chemistry between you and him, was it daunting also to know that he's in the frame and you're literally calling the shots with Rishi Kapoor and you have to cut this scene the way you want to? How was that experience?
So there were just too many stories I had already heard from a lot of people, from a lot of people in the industry and Excel and this thing कि अरे ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा ये वो. So I was already a little on the back foot कि पता नहीं क्या होगा तो ये वो. And first 2-3 days were really hard. Like कि ये नहीं ऐसे नहीं वैसे नहीं ये वो. And I just didn't know how to get my way around. Then one incident happened between two of us, where he just flat out refused to do something. And now there is no argument, there is no debate. So how do I convince an actor? Like मैं नहीं करूँगा. So sir, I was like, इसका क्या मतलब है मैं नहीं करूँगा? मैंने ये करना है, ये script में है. Why would you not do it? It's like no, don't talk to me about this again. So then I said, then okay, let's not read the scene. I'm going. So I just left the vanity. तो पीछे से then his makeup man came running in कि सर अंदर बुला रहे. तो मुझे लगा now he's gonna call Ritesh कि change करो director. इसको हटाओ. I don't want to. And then I went inside and he's screaming at me. I will do everything that you want. Stop blackmailing me. I will do it. I'll do it. And I couldn't stop laughing. मैंने कहा अभी तो आप बोल रहे थे मैं नहीं करूँगा. He's like I will do it. Just shut up. Don't talk to me like this. मैंने कहा मैंने तो कुछ बोला ही नहीं. And then within that, this thing, incident, I don't know how, somehow we started talking about food. कि lunch में क्या खाना? He's like, हाँ chicken biryani खाते हैं. नहीं यहाँ से ये वाला कुछ मंगाते हैं. And that was it. Then I understood, कि यार he was never angry. He was just. I don't even think he was ever bullying. He just had a certain way.
Absolutely.
And once he likes you, I think that's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Once he likes you, then it's just then there was just no turning back. Then we had a great relationship, and also he was having a lot of fun on the sets. He just loved the script so much. He just loved the characters so much. He was almost every time, even after we have cut a scene, he won't go to the vanity. He'll sit there. He'll just chill with us or talk to us and all that. So I think it was just too fabulous.
All these stories that you've shared with us, Sharmaji Namkeen couldn't have been a better film than Sharmaji Namkeen, I think, to not just pay tribute to Rishi ji, but to enjoy his work, to sort of live through the film and realize that he's never gone away for any of us. He'll always be around, and there is it's so contagious. The scenes in the film, especially the humor, the end credits, I think are fantastic. We really get to sort of see that side of it, which we haven't. On that note, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. And this is truly a special moment for all of us.
बात है कुछ आपके हाथ में, खाने वाले की नब्ज पकड़ लेते आप।
वैसे आजकल ना अलग अलग गोलियां आ गई हैं मार्केट में.
ये सब दोस्त है मेरे.
लड़का लड़की कभी दोस्त नहीं होते शर्मे.
टाई शाई लगा के कहाँ से आ रहे हो आप?
एनजीओ गया और फोन तो साइलेंट पे था.
बच गया. पापा आपने मुझसे झूठ बोला.
नहीं रिंकू ऐसा नहीं है जैसे तू समझ रहा है.
पापा तो कैसा है यार? हम एक सोसाइटी में रहते हैं. आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मुझे पड़ता है. हर चीज आपके हिसाब से नहीं होगी यार.
मैं जैसा हूँ वैसा हूँ. मुझे किसी से परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है.
जब तक कोई बिल न भरना हो किसी को मेरी याद नहीं आती. क्या फायदा है ऐसे फैमिली का?
उल्टी सीधी जैसी भी हो, फैमिली है.
तू किसी का लोड मत ले पंडित. रब का नाम ले और चढ़ जा चौपर में.